Nation, we are back. Let's have some fun, y'all. Let's get it. Yo, salute to everybody already here in the building. You guys know what time it is, man. We are back. Salute to everybody in the chat, the greatest chat in YouTube history. Make sure you guys wipe them feet. That means hit them thumbs up. Also, hit that subscribe button. If you guys are not subscribed yet, we are getting closer and closer to 30,000. You know what, man? I'm low-key starting to feel a little disrespected here, man. I got to keep it a buck, you guys. I've been doing this now for 5 years. I think I'm one of the most passionate, hardworking content creators out there, man. And we have still not eclipsed 30,000 subscribers. What are we doing here? Hit that subscribe button if you guys are not subscribed yet. I see everybody in the chat, man. I appreciate you guys so much. A lot to talk about today. As always, salute the Green Dot Gang. Adam, Nada, Raider Joe, Louie. I see all you guys. JD, salute. Yes, JD, I'm going to watch it later. I'm kind of I got it on DVR, so I'm going to watch it later. But we're going to talk a lot, man. There's a lot to unpack. We're going to talk about the new pickup with Raheem Mostert. You know, he was mentioned the other day from somebody in the chat. And I said that me personally, I would have loved to stay away from that. You know, he'll be 33 years old, I believe, next month, April. Somewhere around there, you know, coming off of a injury-riddled year in Miami. But in 2023, he had a monster season where I think he had like 18 touchdowns, right? A former product with Chip Kelly in 2016 with the Niners when Chip was out there as the head coach. So, you know, look, I was kind of against the pickup originally because I thought there was some better options out there. You know, 33 years old, it's like, what are we doing here? Are we doing the Amir Abdullah thing again where we're just trying to bring in one of these vets? But familiarity with Chip Kelly. He's a leader in the locker room, former Pro Bowl guy who had a monster year in 2023. You can utilize him in those goal line situations. He'll score a lot, quick, fast. You know, you don't keep tabs on Raheem, and he'll take one to the crib real quick, fast, and in a hurry. So if he can replicate any of that success that he had in 2023, look, I'm here for it, especially at $2.1 million for a season. So I'm not upset about this. I'm not mad about it. Originally, I'm like, what are we doing here? Like, come on, man. But 2.1 mil for a former Pro Bowl running back that essentially you'll probably be a number 2 or number 3 guy. I'm not upset about it. And I think, honestly, he'll probably be the number 3 guy. But we're here. You know, Raheem Mostert is a Raider, you guys. 1 year, $2.1 million deal. Didn't want to go live on it yesterday. I spent some time with the family. We went out and kicked it and did our thing. I didn't think that Raheem was one of those type of moves that I felt like I had to rush to the house to do a live. So I said, you know what, let me just pump the brakes a little bit. We'll talk about it here today. Dolph, you're right. You know, rested legs. Hopefully he's okay and he's good to go. It sounds like, you know, he's looking forward to playing football again here with the Raiders. Once again, he had a down year with Miami. What was it, you guys? Was it like a sternum or what was the issue out there in Miami? I think he had like let me look this up real quick. I want to see exactly what that injury was. I could have swore it was like a sternum injury 2024. Fractured sternum. That's exactly what it is. So, you know, and he tried to play through it. Dude's a dog, man. But once again, Chip Kelly brings in one of his guys that he had, I believe, a year together out there in the Bay Area in Santa Clara. So salute to Raheem. Welcome to Raider Nation, man. I'm looking forward to seeing what you got going on in that running back group. And you had a veteran presence, to that room. Right now we have Sincere, really young, right? We have Dylan, year 2, really young. And you have Zeus still in the building, which I don't know if he'll be on this roster, come week 1. There's some rumors about us potentially trying to trade him. I don't know what we would get for Zeus at this point, to be honest. But he's still young as well on a rookie deal. So you're adding a veteran, been there, done that type guy, in Raheem, who had, once again, you guys, in 2023, a monster year, over 1,000 yards on the ground. He had 18 touchdowns. He had 175 yards receiving as well. So, this guy can get it done in the passing game and in the ground game as well. So, you love to see it, man. So salute to Raheem. $2.1 million deal for 1 year. Looks as though Pete and company are bringing in a bunch of 1-year guys, guys with high ceiling, no low risk, high reward type pickups, 1-year type deals. I'm not mad about this. The Eric Stokes of the world, right? The Lonnie Johnson Jr.'s of the world, and so on and so forth. And we'll talk about that presser as well, because some of those guys actually really got me hyped to see what they look like this season in the silver and black. Salute to RS becoming a member as well, my brother. I appreciate you so much. I think you're just renewing, but I appreciate you. If you guys want to become a member, like my dog RS, man, hit the link. It's pinned up top. It definitely, once again, helps us keep the lights on over here at OLV Raiders Network. Salute to my guy, Raider Joe 70, keeping the lights on. My brother, salute to you on a dub special, man. Thank you so much. And salute to the 1,000 people here in the building. Wipe them feet, y'all. Salute to MF. Graphk, me and my bro, Gabe Owners, is a huge fan of you. And wait, Gabe Owners? Gabe Owners? I'm trying to see if you got me. You got me, man. We love all the moves the Raiders are doing. Trust, spy. You got me, man. You got me, man. You got me. Gay boners. You got me, bro. MF, you dirty motherfucker, you. I can't stand it. I can't stand it. Nasty work. Salute to Mikey. E-Rob's presser definitely had me fired up. Facts. I'm excited to see what he can do, man. And the one thing I loved about a lot of these guys, E-Rob and Lonnie and all these guys talked about, what it means to be a Raider and that they feel like they're built to be in the mode of a Raider. You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing that I like about what they're doing here. Once again, what was the trend, you guys? What was the word that Pete Carroll and Spy Tech and company used? Culture. And here we are, bringing in guys that are dogs on 1-year deals. Chin got $2, $8 million per, which is a Raider-esque move. Chin just fits the description of a Raider. Hard hitter, a 6'3", Pete Carroll type, prototype DB. But these guys fit the mold of what it means to be a Raider. Now, I'm not here to say that they're going to go out there and be all pro guys this season. I'm not saying that at all, because some of these guys are depth pieces. Lonnie Johnson Jr., he'll be a special teams guy that can provide some reps at safety if need be. Jeremy Chin's on a 2-year deal. He's essentially our Marcus Epps this year, right? 2-year deal, pretty inexpensive. I think Marcus Epps had like a 2-year deal for like $6 million per. And salute to him. Just got a deal, 1 year, $4 million out there in New England. The New England Raiders, you guys, it is real. It is real. They went out and got Chase on, brought him in on a 1 year, $5.5 million type deal. They brought in Robert Spillane on a all-pro type contract, $37 million for like 3 seasons. Now they go out and get our guy Epps. The New England Raiders are here under Vrabel, you guys. It is official. The New England Raiders on the defensive side of the ball. But I digress. I just love what these guys were saying. You know what I mean? And I think that they're going to go to war for Pete Carroll. They're going to go to war for John Spytek. Some of them mentioned speaking to Max Crosby and not wanting to let him down, per se, right? Like, they know what kind of leader he is in that locker room. They know what kind of trendsetter he is on the football field. He sets the tone with his motor. I love these 1-year deals because these guys are going to come in here hungry, man. Eric Stokes says that he is healthy now, to be determined, right? He's dealt with a lot of injuries in his short time in the NFL, but I'm excited to see what this kid can do, if he can stay healthy this year. Former first-round pick out of Georgia, I believe, right? Dude was a stud. There was a reason Green Bay took him there in the first round. It just hasn't really truly panned out. He had a good rookie year, and then he kind of just fell apart with the injuries and stuff. But I'm excited to see what these guys can do. But yeah, it sucks, Ty, right? It sucks that we lost Chasen. But also, we have to look at it like this. I put it on Twitter yesterday, you guys. I'm almost positive the Raiders offered him a contract. The thing is this. We signed Malcolm Kuntz on a 1-year, $12 million deal. He's back. If Malcolm Kuntz was not hurt last year, Ty, we wouldn't have went out and got Chase on. He would have never been a Raider in the first place. You know what I mean? So I truly believe that he took that $5.5 million deal because he was probably promised that he'll be fighting for a starting spot. With the Raiders, he's not. We still have Tyree Wilson on a rookie deal. It makes no sense to go, for him, in his eyes, to former first-round pick that's starting to really show signs of life, return to the Raiders when we have a Tyree Wilson, a former top 10 pick that's still on a rookie deal. And then once again, you have, Kuntz coming back. So I think the guy wanted real live bullets in New England. I think he was pretty much, offered a potential starting job out there, and why not? And he took it. You know what I mean? And they're spending money out there. They brought him in. They brought Milton. They got a ton of talent out there in New England. But I just believe that I think we did offer him a deal. I just don't think that it made any sense for him in terms of getting on the football field and showing what he can do. You know what I mean? So I just think that when Malcolm Kuntz was coming back, the writing was on the wall. Tyree's still under contract. The writing was on the wall. And we can make up for that Chase on loss, you guys. I put it on Twitter also that I believe we can go get like a Tyler Batty or what's the kid named? Tyler Baden, the kid out of Miami. Those kind of edge rushers in those mid to later round. Bring in another one, develop them, rotational piece. Why not? Why spend $5.5 million on an edge rusher that probably is not going to get a ton of reps? Barring any injuries from Malcolm Kuntz or Tyree, so on and so forth. And then AJ, we brought back Charles Snowden as well, right? So there was really I don't think it made financial sense for us, and I don't think it made any sense for him in terms of getting on the football field and displaying what he can do. Salute to Will. If we get Scatterboo, look the hell out. He's going to help wherever he goes right away. I'm Sacramento biased, you guys, so definitely excited to see what Scat can do at the next level. I would love for him to be a Raider, man. Would love it, man. Salute to my boy Will, Raider Laker. Salute to Pride and Purpose, man. Keenan Allen for the low. He's definitely an option, right? He's still out there, still available. So we're going to talk about this whole Cooper Kupp situation, right? So I don't know who follows me on Twitter. If anyone follows me on Twitter, I got a little tidbit late last night, really kind of early this morning, that we were in talks with the former All-Pro wide receiver. Now, the name wasn't given to me, and I think it was for a specific reason because they didn't want that to get out there, right? So, but I was told that we met up with an All-Pro wide receiver, whether it was last night or yesterday late afternoon, whatever it was, I was told that. So, but I was also asked to not share that information. So I'm kind of playing on Twitter a little bit like, hey, keep an eye on wide receiver, right? I'm putting it out there. Everybody's like, what are you talking about? The eye emojis. I'm kind of fucking around a little bit, trying to, just having some fun. It's free agency, you guys. Don't take this shit too serious. I had like 5 or 6 people unfollow me today. I just told them, like, just come on, y'all take this shit way too serious. There's some people, okay? There's some people that are sources, right, that want you to just put it out there, like the Shaq Thompson information. And we'll talk about that here in a second. Sacramento connection. That's a guy that I love, dear to my heart, because he's a Sacramento guy, right? 30-year-old linebacker. We'll talk about that here in a second. It was okayed for me to put the information out there that the Raiders are interested in Shaq Thompson. We'll talk about that here in a second. The wide receiver situation, I was asked not to, okay? So I did not do that. I was just told once again that we were, we met with an All-Pro wide receiver. Well, today, salute to my guy Ryan Holmes on Twitter. If you guys do not know him, he is the guy that actually broke the information on Chip Kelly. So he said that Pete Carroll was out at lunch or something along those lines, right, with Chip Kelly in the LA area. Next thing you know, boom, like an hour later, we're signing Chip Kelly to a massive $6 million per, making him the highest paid offensive coordinator, right? So he goes on Twitter today. He says, sources indicated the Raiders have met with Cooper Kupp last night, although nothing is imminent as of now, but things can change quickly. Okay. Then he goes, Raiders have met with Kupp. Doesn't mean a signing is impending. I'm just saying they have met. Don't know what Kupp is looking for or what the Raiders would offer. Okay. Now I can personally tell you guys this, that, it's kind of public information at this point. He's looking for a nice chunk of change. And at this point in his career, with the health injuries, with the healthy, the injuries and the health, being a problem, I don't think he's going to get that 15 million per. If he wants that, I do believe that he probably could get it going to New England, because it sounded like they were ready to pay Chris Godwin like $30 million a year before he decided to stay in Tampa Bay and take that 23 mil per, right? So I think that he's going to be somewhere in that 12 range, that 12, 13 range, 2-year deal type. But I have no information on any type of deal. I was just told all pro wide receiver, and my ears started kind of, because I thought of Cooper and then I thought of Stephon Diggs. Now, I don't know if you guys remember, I put a video out a month ago. I got some information from one of my guys that has shot me a ton of information, and all of it has been correct up to this point, that he was interested in playing for the Raiders. Okay. Now, I don't know where our interest is, but next thing you know, you see Geno Smith out there practicing, I believe in the Florida area. Don't quote me on that, with Stephon Diggs. So it's like, okay, our QB1 is out there throwing the football around with potentially our future wide receiver 1 or high-end wide receiver 2 coming off that torn ACL. Blah, blah, blah. So I say that to say this, you guys, some sources are okay with you putting information out into the universe. Some others are like, hey, kind of flirt with it a little bit, throw it out there, but don't say the name, don't say this or this and that. So I kind of just, wide receiver. We are working heavily behind the scenes. I am not in that room, you guys. I'm not going to act like I'm not a reporter. That's not what I do. I love just coming over here with my Raider Nation family, talking shit, having fun, bringing players on and shooting the shit, right? That's what I love to do. I'm not a reporter. So I'm not trying to break news and all that other stuff. You guys can ask some of these other guys, ask some of these other Raider content creators how much information I've given to them to break, because I didn't want to do it, right? Shoot, ask Mitch. I've given him information plenty of times where I said, you know what, go ahead and do it, because I didn't want to do it. And it all came true. So I'm just saying this. Sounds like our Raiders met up with Cooper Kupp, but it also sounds like there's other teams involved. It sounds like he does want to stay out west. He has a wife, kids. They found a home in LA. He's been there for years with the Rams. They won a Super Bowl together. I've not really heard too much with the Chargers. I assumed the Chargers were going to be all in on this. Sounds like they may not. They brought back one of their own wide receivers after, a year or two of leaving, former Clemson product. But Mike Williams, for those who don't know who I'm talking about. But I don't know if they're going to do that. They may go look in the draft to bring in a wide receiver, which I do think that they will. Now, you think about the West, you think about the Niners in the Bay. Well, it looks like they're moving on from a bunch of players. I don't think they want to bring in a 32-year-old Cooper Kupp coming off, 700 yards in another injury-riddled year, right? Seattle, he's from the Washington area. I can see that. I could see him going up there, but once again, Sam Darnold, is that a thing without Kevin O'Connell out there, running the show in Minnesota? They just brought in Tank, DeMarcus Lawrence. They're looking at other options out there. They have Tevin Jenkins coming in for a visit. So they're trying to clean up that O-line a little bit. Maybe that's a team. I'm also hearing the Broncos. Sounds like the Broncos may be a team that are interested in bringing him in, and do you want to allow the Broncos to go bring him in right now? That'd be kind of nasty. You bring him in and they got Ingram now and so on and so forth. And they can get even deeper in the offensive side, on the offensive side of the ball in the draft. So, and then if it was New England, if it was all about the money, you guys, I think that he would already went to New England. It sounds like they have the most, they do have the most money at their disposal. I think that they would be, if it was a money grab, I think he would already went there, which it sounds like there's still an option for him. I don't know if they're off the board completely, but it sounds like he would like to remain in the West Coast. Vegas is not far at all. It's a drive away from LA. They can keep their house in LA, get another spot in Vegas, just like Devontae did. They're still living in Vegas now that, now he's going to have a home in LA, kind of stayed at Aaron Rodgers on some bunk bed shit with Aaron Rodgers out there in New York, but he kept his crib in Vegas too. So all I'm saying is this, keep an eye on Cooper Kupp. I think it's just depending on the asking price. I think truly that is just what it is. What is he going to want at this point? And the 15 mil per is not going to happen for a guy who's missed a ton of football in the past 2-3 seasons. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Salute to McCovey, my guy. I really hope we don't use number 6 for T-Mac. This wide receiver class is weak. Go get a free agent, trade back in the first, and get a corner. Get a running back in the second, QB in the third. Salute to my guy, McCovey. I'm with you on the T-Mac discussion. I'm not. If you take T-Mac, you trade back. If that's the move, and he's not available, even if you trade back, then it is what it is. There's other guys that I would rather have in that room than T-Mac, especially at 6. I refuse. I just don't want to do it. I understand the measurables, the catch radius. There's problems with potentially the speed there, the separation. I just would rather not go that route with bringing in a T-Mac. You got Matthew Golden out there from Texas. You got Trey Harris out of Ole Miss, who could be that big body guy that could provide you that X spot in the wide receiver room. I would rather not do that at 6 with T-Mac. I know a lot of people fall in love with the and one type catches and, the big body receiver. I get it. I understand it. I'd rather stay away from that. Salute to my guy, McCovey, man. Appreciate you, brother, as always. Also, let me see. I think I missed one. Nope, I did not. Salute to my brother Wasted in the building, too, kicking it with us while he's on vacation out there on the island somewhere doing his thing. Salute to Adam. He says, Keenan Allen, I'm not against that. Not against that. He had the same production pretty much that Cooper Kupp had last season. He was like their third option as a wide receiver out there in Chicago, right? He had like 700 yards in the year, somewhere along those lines. Over 700, actually. So there's still a lot that Keenan Allen can provide at the wide receiver spot. And once again, you guys, I don't truly think that we're looking for a wide receiver 1. Brock Bowers is your wide receiver 1. Tight end, whatever the fuck it is. He's receiving the football. It's called receiving the football, okay? He is our number 1 guy. You got Michael Mayer, who's still in the building, right? You still have Trey Tucker, who's going to be – this is the year that Trey shows the NFL what he can do, because now he has a quarterback that can actually throw the deep ball consistently. Okay, so we have Trey Tucker there. You got Jacoby coming off his first year with 1,000 yards where he didn't drop a pass all year long, right? So all I'm saying is this. We don't essentially need a wide receiver 1, you guys. Like that's why I don't understand taking McMillan at 6. You know what helps Brock Bowers, you guys? A run game. McMillan, to me, I mean, yeah, you pick your poison, right? But get the ground game going. If you really want to help Brock Bowers, run the fucking football. That's why I'm okay with taking GT at 6, or if you trade back and he's gone, and Amarion Hampton, who's going to be a first-round pick in my eyes, take him and trade back. That's okay. Get you a running back early. I just think that if you get a guy like a GT or like Amarion Hampton that can run the football effectively, it just helps our passing game so much more. So much more. Kupp is from Davis High School and Yakima, Washington. I feel like Seattle is his top choice, which they could be. He's not going to go up there and win. I mean, honestly, you can look at the Raiders and say he's not going to go win either, right? But, I mean, you're going up there and you're betting on Sam Darnold. You're betting on that coaching staff out there. There's DK Metcalf is gone. Tyler Lockett is gone. Geno's gone. So, maybe it is, though. Maybe he wants to stay home. That would make all the sense in the world. Salute to Jorge, my guy in the building. But, yeah, look, people think I don't like McMillan. I like McMillan. I think he's a stud. I watched him a lot at Arizona. You know what I mean? But I think he had, 1,300 yards receiving last season. He was a really, really phenomenal wide receiver out there at Arizona. But we had one of the worst ground attacks, if not we had the worst ground attack in football last year. Invest in that position. And if you're going to take a generational type talent with GT there at 6, I have no issue with it. You guys know how I feel about the running back position. I'm like, dude, this is a deep class. You can get one in the later rounds. And with Chip Kelly in the building, I'll trust that if they go get one in the third or if they take one in the second. I'm okay with that. I just like GT a lot. If he's the pick, if we pass up on a quarterback at 6, if Shador is gone and we choose not to, or even if he's there and we choose not to go that direction, I would be okay with GT there at 6. I'd also be okay with if it was Will Johnson, you add him, a potential shutdown, lockdown corner that a lot of people think that he's the next Patrick Surtain. I have no issue with that. I have no problem with that. But honestly, yeah, I mean, in a perfect world, you guys be trade back, Tyler. I agree. But Dallas just went and got Miles Sanders and they got Javonte Williams. That was the one team that I thought from 12 would potentially move up for a running back. Now, I still think they'll take a running back, but now in this deep class, they're going to take one in the middle rounds. The only team that you can look at is Chicago. Chicago is the only team at 10 where, Ben says, I want to perform top notch in year one because I'm not only playing in a division where there's a bunch of talent there, but I'm playing against my former division. I want to go out there and win now. 10 is the spot that I'm looking at with Chicago potentially. Went out there and got 2 guards. They got a center in free agency. I can see them taking Jinty if they moved up. They've already parted ways with a few draft picks, you guys. I don't know if Ben, maybe he wants his Jahmyr Gibbs in this year. They took Gibbs in the first round with Detroit a few years past. But I don't know, man. I don't know. That'd be the one team that I can definitely see potentially trying to move up for Jinty. If not, I don't see them taking a guard anymore. Will Campbell or Booker. I see those guys off the table now. I think they like what they did on that O-line. But we shall see. But I would move back if I could into the middle of the first round. Those teams pick up a pick or two, and then you can kind of pick your poison there if you want a Marion Hampton, or even if they're so high on Henderson or Judkins, I wouldn't want to take them in the first. But if they're there and they want to take them, hey, be my guest. Salute to the 2,000 people here in the building, and he checked. Some people say he's not a generational talent, right? Well, if you go look at his stats, they're generational. Like, I'm not going to argue with you guys about a player being generational. I'm just going to let the stats speak for themselves. Like, this kid is phenomenal. His stats are generational. So there is that. So to Jason, he says Judkins 2.0. I love it. LT, no. And I think we would be crazy to move any draft capital, even if he was available. He's 29 years old, and he's been dealing with an injury that looks like may force him to retire here soon. I don't know if you guys watched the Niners-Buffalo game when they were in the snow, and it looked like his hamstring or his Achilles just blew up. You know what I mean? Like, he's dealt with injuries his entire career. The Niners got a few years out of him, luckily, and they made some runs, right? But that was the knock in Carolina, was he just couldn't stay healthy. They ran him down to the bone in Carolina. But I would not make a move, for CMC at 29 years old and all the injuries that he's dealt with. At that point, just go get GT. And I'm not saying that GT is well, I think GT could be that good, but I'm not here to say he'll be that good in year one. But I think that, honestly, I think GT could be a top 5 running back in year one. And I think, and once again, people may disagree with me here, but I think that we have a sneaky good offensive line already. I do. I think we have a sneaky O-line already. I think you could add a piece, one more here in free agency soon, whether that's a guard or a tackle, add one in the draft. But I think we have a sneaky good O-line. They got a lot better last year when JPJ moved over to center. And we started kind of, moving and shaking a little bit. Joe Philbin took over the O-line, and you could definitely see the difference there. So, and it looked different with Aiden out there, in Gardner Minshew, who's the chief now, not running into, just running into his blockers and shit. So, how am I tripping, Wasted? I think we actually have a serviceable O-line right now. I do. I think it can get better for sure. I mean, definitely. But I think this is a sneaky good O-line. I'm not saying not to get another guard. I'm just saying they're sneaky good. If that's your gripe, if that's your argument that we need one more guard, which we just brought in Kappa, right? We brought Jordan Meredith back, then go get that one more guard. I'm just saying they're sneaky good to me. Everybody thinks that in the nation that we have this worst, like one of the worst O-lines in the NFL, and this is not that. Salute to Nav. Our problem in the past has been getting the shiny new toy early in the draft versus the player we need first. We are trending to working smarter, not harder. If no, trade back. At 6 has to be receiver or O-line. So you're saying you have to get a receiver there or O-lineman. So in your eyes, then, Nav, it would be McMillan or it'd be a Will Campbell, right? Or potentially you take Booker there, which some people have him as a top 10 pick, the guard out of Alabama. So that's what you're saying. See, I'm not taking a receiver there, Nav. Much respect to you, my brother, and I thank you on a $10 holler, but I'm not taking a receiver at 6. We had the worst ground attack in football, you guys. We still have Jacoby, 1,000 yards last season. We have Brock Bowers, who's going to be even better And he had a generational year last year at the tight end position, his rookie season with Geno Smith there. Trey Tucker is ready to take the world by storm. Is that speed guy? You know what I mean? We got Michael Mayer, who's still like, what are we doing with him? He was literally just a few seasons ago one of the top tight ends in the draft. So we got to kind of pump the brakes here. I think that we have, a good group already. I think that it'd be organizational malpractice to take a wide receiver at 6. Honestly, go get one of these veterans. Even if it is Keenan Allen or Cooper Kupp or a Stephon Diggs or even an Amari Cooper, a 5-time, Pro Bowler. I'm just saying, I think that's disgusting to take a receiver there at 6. But LaFleur, I get it. But running back is a need, brother. Like that's the thing. Like wide receiver, you can get one in the middle rounds. We've talked about all these names out there. We've talked about the Iowa State boys, Jaden Higgins and those guys, right? We've talked about Ricky White the third. We've talked about Nick Nash in those later rounds, the big body San Jose State guy. There's a ton of guys, Savion Williams, TCU. There's a ton of guys you could take a look at in those mid to later rounds. I wouldn't want to go that route. Gene T's the next Barry Sanders. Draft him. He checked. Now Barry's my favorite running back of all time, so I'm not going to go that far. But I will say this: he could potentially be the next best thing to Barry Sanders. And Barry is bar none my favorite running back of all time. I don't think anybody played that position the way he did. But that speaks volumes about what you think he could be, right? I'm not mad about that. Salute to Davey. I know we're doing good, but I'm jonesing for a signing. Man, I hear you, brother. They're coming. It's coming soon, bro. Trust me. There's going to be some moving and shaking here. I think that the Geno deal should be done soon, you guys. He's already a Raider, right? The trade has went through, but they're going to be working on this extension, right? Getting him right and giving him a 2, 3, 4-year new deal. And once they do that, I think they're going to start kicking the tires a little bit more. But once again, we are working the phones behind the scenes, you guys. We are. Sounds like we're meeting up with players. You know what I mean? We're working the phones, even through trade, gauging that, like trying to see where that market is in terms of trade. Look, expect a wide receiver, Davey, here. So I'm not here to I'm not putting my life on the line for that statement. But from what I'm hearing, man, once again, keep an eye on a wide receiver here soon. Real talk. Per source from Green Dot Riders, wasted talent got the Lamar nub and this is facts, DB. This is facts, bro. I don't know if you see. I want to show you this, you guys. See, wasted. You kind of fucked yourself. You're talking real greasy in the comments section, right? Like really nasty. Like I see you. I got the gout. I got this. I got that, right? And I'm like, damn, bro. Like you treating the kid like that. Like that's fucked up, right? Well, you sent me this picture last night of these fire ass New Balances, but what you failed to realize is that you put the gout in the actual picture. So you got this ashy ass ankle with the gout on top of it, and you just sent that to me, man. Like that's nasty. That is pure gout, DB. That is pure gout. Pure gout. That's gout right there. Pure, unadulterated gout. Couldn't even put any lotion on the gout. Just fuck it. Just wasted, man. Love you, brother. Can't wait till you get back to the States, man. So the heat check. Nah, we weren't trash this past season just to pick later in the draft. Go get the generational talent. Talk that shit, heat check. Appreciate you, my brother. Appreciate you, my dogs, supporting the channel the way you are today. Salute to my guy, Fred Hampton, in the building as well. He said, bitch, we doing that. Yo, I mean, bro, you said the pictures of ankles and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know I had the same shoes on yesterday, but hey, I made sure that the anklets were covered up, bro. There was no gout in sight. Rich, I don't work for the Raiders. I'm not in the building. All I can go off of is what people tell me or what people close to the situation that I know can tell me. And I can't tell you 24 hours. I can't tell you 48 hours. I know one thing. Cooper Kupp is actually going over. It sounds like he wants to get this deal done pretty soon, but it sounds like he's still kind of going over. Is it this team? Is it this team? Is it that team? There's a ton of moving parts there. And honestly, even visiting the Raiders, I still believe Seattle is the team to keep an eye on because he gets an opportunity to go home. Once again, it's still on the West Coast. I know Vegas is as well. And I think the dark horse team is potentially the Denver Broncos, which, they get their hands on him. And if he could stay healthy, even 8-9 games, that could be a sneaky move for them. So keep an eye. But I'm not, once again, not going to say 24 hours, 48 hours. I'm just hearing that we are working a lot behind the scenes right now, you guys. So, Raheem Mostert is not the only move we're going to make. Lonnie Johnson Jr., Jeremy Chin, and Eric Stokes. We're going to make some more moves here very soon. So just stay tuned for that. Graham Cam, this is facts. Wasted got eczema on his ankle bone. This is facts, bro. It's nasty work. It's disgusting. Nasty, disgusting work. Salute to DB, my dog. Gifting 5 OLV Raiders Network memberships, my brother. I appreciate you so much. If you guys want to become members and you missed out on these 5, hit the link. It's pinned up top. Definitely helps us keep the lights on over. I'm waiting on Wasted to send me a text and threatening my life. I think it's going to happen here very, very soon. He said they're going in the trash after the strip. Yo, Jay, I did not see your super, brother. My apologies. Let me check it out, see if I missed it real quick. Once again, while I do this, salute to the chat, you guys. Salute to everybody here in the building rocking with me. As always, I appreciate you guys. Salute to Fred. I'm still here for it all. My dog. And DB, got that one. I don't see a super from you, bro. I do not see a super from you. Maybe you in the chat. Okay, here we go. Boom. Got you. Question: if Barry Sanders was available at 6, would you draft him? Yeah, exactly. Take GT at 6. He had Barry numbers. Don't trade back. Facts, man. If you could get potentially the next Saquon Barkley here at 6, Jay, it's the same thing, right? I'm not going to act as though, once again, that GT is going to be Barry Sanders. Like Barry was just different, but he could be. Who's to say? But if you had the opportunity to potentially get Saquon Barkley here at 6, and you were the worst run game in the league last year, and then also you have Chip Kelly and Pete Carroll in the building now that want to run the football a ton. I'm not against getting the best running back in most people's eyes at 6. I'm just not. It is what it is. This is not a situation, you guys, where you're taking kind of like an unknown in the top 10. This is Ashton Jeanty, a guy that went absolutely bananas statistically at Boise State. You know what I mean? I remember the 200-yard game against Oregon where he had 3 touchdowns, and he can also help you in the passing game. A lot of people say, oh, the Penn State game he struggled. Yeah, he didn't score a touchdown. He still had over 100 yards rushing, but he didn't have a touchdown. Yeah, and I think he only averaged like 3.6 or 7 that game. Penn State had a phenomenal defense. It is what it is. It happens. Not Barry didn't have a phenomenal game every fucking week. I think some of these guys, especially the Jinkies of the world that will run the football over 30 times, a game, are sometimes allowed to have a mishap here and there. You know what I'm saying? So, I think we got to kind of pump the brakes in terms of beating him up a little bit for not having this, crazy game against Penn State. But people neglect the fact that he had a phenomenal game against Oregon, and they have a shit ton of guys on that defense that are going to be potentially first-round guys or mid-round guys, the Harmons of the world. And you can look at Muhammad Jabbar, and there's a whole bunch of other guys there on that defense that can go in this year's draft. A ton of guys that are going to be drafted this year. Salute to Cobain. Take Memble or Graham at 6. We can get a good running back late. Look what the Chiefs did with Pacheco. Yeah, well, the thing is this. Pacheco, he's been a serviceable running back. They went out and got 2 other backs to add to that room, right? They're kind of a committee at this point. They brought back what's his name today? Why am I drawing a blank right now, you guys? Guy that's been there for many moons, former Cleveland Brown, played for him last year, got him off the streets and made a run with him again. Why am I drawing a blank here? It's gonna kill me now. I'm getting pissed. Kareem Hunt. You know what I mean? So, but you could, but I just don't think. I think they don't run the football as much as we are going to run the football this year, Cobain. They're not, and there's a lot of talk out there and a lot of rumors about some of the guys in the building already in love with the thought of bringing in Ashton Jeanty, which I don't know if it's true or not. This is smokescreen season right now. Maybe the Raiders are trying to bring in a team like Chicago to potentially trade a second round pick to move up or whatever. You know, it could be that. But I just think that if you think that this is a no-brainer home run move, you just go make it. You go make it. You go make it. It's just simple and plain. You make it. You make the move. Salute to Cobain. But I love the tackle out of Missouri. Mason Graham's a dog. He can be phenomenal. I don't know how much of a need he would be now. I know we can still rotate him in and out. We just paid Adam Butler starter money. You know, Tyree is going to be kicking in and out. I don't know really if Mason Graham is going to be a guy there for us at 6. He may not even be there at 6, to be honest. Eric, if GT and T-Mac are both generational talent, I don't think T-Mac's a generational talent at all. Wide receiver gets more value than 6. I don't know who has said that. Who said that? I mean, Eric, I mean, I haven't seen that narrative at all, brother. I mean, please show me somewhere where somebody said that, because I've not seen him be a generational type guy. I've not seen anybody say that. But show me. I would love to see it. I don't know how you say McMillan is a generational player. Now, can he be? Potentially. You know, maybe a lot of people think he could be the next Mike Evans because of, you know, the measurables and blah, 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 the catch radius and so on and so forth, 50-50 guy. I don't see it. I personally don't. And that's not me hating on McMillan, you guys. I think that he could be a really good wide receiver at the next level. I just think GT is going to be a way better running back than he'll be a wide receiver. And if that's the move at 6, I'm going with the better player. BPA. Salute to 2-4. Wasted. Keep an eye on Lewis. Billy Ray Valentine from Trading Places. Put those 10 toes down in the sand, brother. Relax and enjoy. Facts, 2-4. Salute to my guy and one of the Mod Fathers himself in the building. Yeah, I'm trying to see who said that. And see, we can do this. We can have this argument again here. Thought Ash Wednesday was last week. Wasted. Cobalt, God and family. I thought, hey, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Them anklets was nasty work. So, do you want to go over the long list? Because me and Wasted just played this game on Twitter. We could do this right now if you want. UA. Jerry Rice is the greatest wide receiver of all time. He played at Mississippi Valley State. Played against nobody. Josh Allen. Wyoming, played against the same talent that GT played against at Boise State. Walter Payton played at a small school, one of the greatest running backs of all time. I mean, we can keep this list going, right? I understand that sometimes you look at player and you're like, oh, you know, look at Quinyon Mitchell, a guy that a lot of people, how can he be a first-round pick? He played at Toledo. Dude played phenomenal for Philly last year, won a Super Bowl in year 1. I'm not buying into that shit. I'm just not buying into the fact that it's the talent that these guys played against. Like, come on, bro. We got to stop doing that shit. We have to. Wasted said, buckle up. Hey, man, you brought the foot jokes to the show, bro. I had to fight back. I had to do something, man. You know what I mean? You gout and would you say I had elephant foot or some shit? I don't know what you were talking about, bro. You can't throw rocks and then hide your hand, King, just because you want to beach somewhere sipping pina coladas and not putting lotion on your ankles. Like, you got to relax, bro. Relax. You were afforded the luxury of not putting your jergens on. You on vacation. I get it, but relax. Relax. Happy birthday, Nab, man. I didn't know it was your birthday, brother. I really didn't. Salute to you, man. I'm not sure if GT at 6 too high. That's cool, Mick Raider. I get it. I have been on that bandwagon saying this is a deep class, you guys. And why would you take a running back there at 6? All I'm doing is arguing the Raiders' argument if that's the direction they want to go. If they think that he could be as great as he was at Boise State and he won't fall apart, you know, they did run him down to the ground out there at Boise. They think he could be the guy. I see why they would do it. I see why they would do it. I truly get it. I understand. Do you think Jahad Campbell will fall to the side? I don't. I truly don't. I think that if you want to get him, you're going to have to move back. You know, I would love to make that move that Scout did on his mock draft the other day on the show, which was move back into the teens somewhere. And if Jahad is there, go get your sideline to sideline guy that can play for you for the next 10 plus years. Right. And then you could pick up some extra draft capital. So, you know, I would love it. I would love it. Jahad Campbell is a stud, but I'm not taking him early in the first. You'd have to move back. I don't think he's going to fall to the second. I think he'll be. That's such like and I don't think Baltimore would do it this year, but that's like a Baltimore move. It's like a Pittsburgh move, right? It's like one of those type of teams that'll probably take them there, and I could just see it. I could see it. And if you want them, trade back somewhere in the early teens, and if you get them there, I'm not mad. I'm not mad about it at all. Campbell's going in the 15 to 20 range. I can see that, Bacteria. And I think that's where you need to go in that range if you want to take Jahad Campbell there. Also, you guys, real quick, I want to talk about the Shaq Thompson thing. It was, it came across my dress, what is it? Came across my desk. Is that what it is? That's the term, right? Something dropped across my desk. Came across my desk. Okay, there you go. Last night, 30-year-old linebacker. He's missed a ton of football these last few seasons out there in Carolina, right? He's still kind of young, though. He's still only 30 years old. A former leader in Carolina, played his entire career with Carolina and the Panthers. He is a free agent right now. I was told that the Raiders are in on bringing him in, but there are other suitors out there. So it sounds like there's a few other teams in the mix, and I don't know how many exactly, but the Raiders are interested in bringing in Shaq Thompson. So a guy that can potentially come in and be definitely one of them ones at the linebacker spot if healthy. And he, he's still bouncing back. I think he's missed a ton of football these past few seasons. I want to see exactly how many he's missed these past few seasons. He only played in 4 games last year, started in 4. The year prior, he only played in 2 games, started in 2 games. But before that, he was really, really durable, 17 and 17 in 2022. 14 games, started in 13 in 2021. 2020, played in 16, started in 15, and so on and so forth. So, I know that he's took some of this time to get right. The former, Grant Pacers alumni, DPH, legend out there in Sacramento, Grant High School, is a free agent and is looking forward to getting back into the thick of things at the NFL and at the NFL level. So, and the Raiders have some interest in him. So it's going to be interesting to see if we pull the trigger on that move. But once again, there are multiple suitors on the Sacramento product linebacker Shaq Thompson. So it's going to be interesting to see where he falls and where one of these other, if one of these other teams come in and scoop him up. Let me see. Salute to Eric, my dog. Flores, we're going to talk about that as well. Anthony G, I love it, bro. You did mention, I think that was you that brought it up, right? Need that shout out for bringing his name up in Wednesday's Live. And I don't even got sources like that. Well, it's funny because I told my guy the same thing. I said, yo, one of my people literally brought him up. So, and you don't even know that you got credit, and I didn't even know who the hell said it. You know what I mean? So I literally said, yo, we were just talking about him. One of my people brought him up. So, it's crazy how this thing works. But the NFL is such a small world, you guys. That's why same, coaches are rotated in and out. One goes here, the other goes here. It's a small world. It's a small community. People just think it's a massive community because they make billions and billions of dollars. Football is a small world. Literally, I'm talking about collectively, collegiately, high school, NFL. It is a small community. So, I'm not shocked about this. I would love for my guy, Shaq, to kind of come home, right? Northern California guy, Sacramento Raiders from Oakland. I would love it. End of the day, if Carroll and SpyTech thinks GT is valued at 6, then it is what it is. Don't matter what none of us think. Talk that shit, my brother. Salute to Eric. This is facts. If they value him, I'm going to trust the process because these guys know what they're doing, and they've drafted a ton of studs, with their old respective organizations. Pete in Seattle and what they did with that Legion of Boom and, bringing in Marshawn Lynch and winning the Super Bowl almost 2, and SpyTech helping, turn things around out there with Tampa Bay and bringing in Brady winning the championship and bringing in Baker Mayfield, helping them with that. And, I'm supporting these guys, whatever step, they decide to take there at 6. Locks, appreciate you, brother. Salute to MG's content. Salute. No, I don't want to be an insider 2-4. I do not want to be an insider. Please. I do not want. I don't want that kind of pressure, man. I don't want that kind of pressure that these other guys have, bro. I just like that. I love to have fun, build my relationships naturally. I do not want that kind of pressure. Sometimes things come across my desk, and most of the time it comes from the horse's mouth. You know, years prior, I broke the what move was it? Marcus Peters, right? And guess why? Because he told me personally at the 8 Lounge that he was in discussions with the Raiders and he wanted to be a Raider. So boom, I put it out there. But I don't want to be that. I do not want to be that at all. I definitely don't. I just like for me and my guys, Wasted Hammer, Big Mike, to come on here, laugh, shoot the shit with you guys, and give our take and our opinion on our football team that we love so damn much. He said, "Would you wouldn't take 6 figures for the job?" No, we speaking a little different, you know, but I mean, in terms of 6 figures, 100 racks is 6 figures. What are we talking about here? What are we talking about here? You know, I mean, you got to be very, very specific here, because 100 racks is that. You know what I mean? So, Caps' Mostert only 759 carries since 2015. It's going to be interesting to see how they utilize him this upcoming season. Content. Salute to my guys. Let me see. Salute to UA, my dog. We have pass rushers now. Go get Will Johnson, a potential shutdown corner, and solidify that back end. Look, usually I'd be all for that. I'd be all for that. But once again, Pete has shown year in and year out, Mel, that he can draft those type of guys in the mid to later rounds. That's why I'm like, why go out there and get a Will Johnson at 6, which is, he's a phenomenal athlete. And if they take him, once again, I'm here for it. But I don't know why he's shown year in and year out that he can go get those type of guys, you know, in the middle later rounds. I'm talking about, you know, even UDFAs. Some of those LOB guys were UDFA. I think, wasn't Browner a UDFA? I mean, Black Sunday, you're right. You know, was Pete there when they took Devin Witherspoon at 6? So I don't know. Oh, so Kupp to the Seahawks. See? So I'm assuming that's home base for him. So there you go. Kupp to Seattle. I don't know what they're expecting up there with Cooper Kupp in Seattle with the weapons that they have. But he went home. He went home. See, okay, so he's likely to make 15 mil a year or more. See, that's what he was asking for, 15 mil. See, I wouldn't pay 15 mil for Cooper Kupp. So now you pivot, right? Now you look at some of these other teams, some of these other guys. You look at the Keenan Allens of the world. You look at Stephon Diggs potentially, an Amari Cooper reunion, one of those type of guys. Or my guy, Elijah Badger in the draft. Elijah Moore, another kid that's only 24 years old and is a phenomenal piece that you can add the value, the age. He just fits what we're doing out there in Las Vegas. I would love Elijah Moore to be a Raider. Salute to Pride and Purpose. GT, I see a lot of LaDainian Tomlinson comparisons. See a lot of them. I'm not here to say he's going to be that, because that is a massive, like, those are big shoes to fill. You know what I mean? But if he can get anywhere close to that, you're going to tell me you guys wouldn't take a LaDainian Tomlinson at 6? Some people say Barry. You wouldn't take a Barry at 6? If Jihad is elite, like he's projected, go get him at 6. Nah, I think that's a reach. 916. I think that's a reach. And I love Jihad, brother, but I'm not going to take him that early. Move back, pick up some extra draft capital. He said, Diggs is coming. Hide your baby mamas. Let me tweet out something real quick. So now we pivot. Salute to everybody in the building, man. Wipe them feet, y'all. Hit them thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, you hit that subscribe button. Okay. You remember that pic that Keenan Allen posted of himself wearing a Raiders hat during his rookie season? Would love to get him if he still got it. Definitely would love that. Would definitely love that. And I definitely remember that. He played his collegiate ball at Cal. So he has, the Bay Area ties there, the roots there. And I believe he's from Southern California. And most people from Southern California are, Raider fans. So I'm not shocked by that. You're talking about the one with the coffee in his hand, right? That Raiders fan? Let me see. Salute to Daniel Owens, my dog, on the $10. A 3-year deal for Kupp, huh? Wow. Holy shit. Holy shit. Definitely not paying that. Holy shit, you guys. Holy shit. I'm trying to see what this deal is, you guys. Hold on. It's a 3-year deal, but let me go to Ian real quick. Cooper Kupp had many options, strong ones, but he gets to go home and play for the Seahawks. Too good to pass up. Trying to see. Returning home, Cooper Kupp is expected to sign with the Seahawks. Per the inside, he's likely to make $15 million per year or more. Wow. Hell no. He got his bag and he got to go home. I'm not mad at him. Holy shit. More power to him, man. 3-year deal. Over $15 million. Yeah, I'm not willing to pay that to a 32-year-old Cooper Kupp who's dealt with injury after injury after injury. That's nasty, nasty work. Salute to Daniel. Darius, hey, McMillan, I'm cool. Nothing against, bro. Get GT and sign Elijah Moore. Talk that shit. Talk that Elijah Moore shit, Daniel. He signed in my Madden franchise, and he's a dog. Trying to tell you, man. You guys remember, we do not have to essentially go out and sign a number one receiver. You have Jacoby, you have Brock, who's your number one option. You have Michael Mayer, you have Trey Tucker. You do not have to go out there and sign one of these big name guys. And Elijah Moore fits that Eric Stokes, right? Former, high drafted guy. Remember this. I don't know if you guys remember Elijah Moore. It was AJ Brown and it was DK Metcalf, two former Ole Miss guys that said that he was better than them. And look, he went to the Jets with a nasty quarterback situation for 2 years. Then he goes to Cleveland with a nastier quarterback situation. And he still has I think over like 500 yards receiving damn near every year or some shit like that. Bring me Elijah Moore and then go get you that big body X in the draft. Go get him. Go get him in the draft in those middle rounds. A Holton out of Colorado State, 6'3", a guy that can be that dude. He can be a stud for you. One of those type of guys. But yeah, Kupp with that kind of deal, that's crazy, man. Holy shit. Seattle is in desperation mode. They trade Geno. They get rid of DK Metcalf. They let Tyler Lockett walk. They pay Sam Darnold a shit ton of money, and now they overpay Cooper Kupp. Wow. Crazy. Yeah, I like him too. The kid Royals, he's nice. Facts. And that's another kid. Didn't have a ton of production last year at TCU, but he's a baller. Savion Williams, big body guy that you can use as that 50-50 guy. Caps. No, it was Cooper Kupp. So, but once again, like I said before at the beginning of the show, I put a video out there about Stephon Diggs a month ago being interested in the Raiders. So I don't know if there's mutual interest there, and I said that in the video. Don't know where that goes, but at this point, you can still bring him in. I was told it was an All-Pro wide receiver, and my first thoughts were, was Stephon Diggs because of the interest that I was told that he had with the Raiders, and then the video that went viral with him and Geno Smith. Yeah, 3-year, $45 million deal for Cooper Kupp. That's crazy. They're going to pay Cooper until he's 35 years old and play 7-8 games a season for him. That's wild. That's wild. Let me see. Jack says, Bax, you would really like us to draft besides GT in the later rounds. I won't say later rounds, but you can look at Ollie Gordon Jr., Oklahoma State. You can look at DJ Giddens, Kansas. You can look at those two guys definitely. I like the kid Marks out of USC. He could provide a ton of help in the passing game. That dude is a baller in the receiving game. Take a look at him in those late rounds. Devin Neal, if he's there, Kansas. There's a ton of backs in this year's class. Ton of them. Dan, RJ Harvey. Even though I think that a lot of these mock drafts have him going late, I think RJ Harvey goes a lot earlier than people predict. I think that RJ Harvey goes a lot earlier. I think he'll be a first in the first 3 rounds. I think Harvey will be gone. Back here says Taj Brooks. I like him too. We could talk about Rocket out of South Carolina, Raheem Sanders, Caleb Johnson, but he'll be gone in those first 2 rounds. D'Amico Bang. I don't think Caleb gets anywhere near past the 3rd round. The latest. I like Dylan Sampson as well. The kid out of Tennessee, baller. So I'm saying, man, this is a deep class, but the guys that we're talking about now, y'all, is to me is after you already get one early. I think you have to get your hands on either a Marion Hampton, Gene T, a Caleb Johnson, a Trayvon Henderson, or a Juckins, and then you can double dip in those later rounds and get one of those guys like a Raheem Sanders, Rocket out of South Carolina. And once again, the Taj Brooks out of Texas Tech, those type of guys. To me, I'm doubling up. I don't care if we went and got Mostert. I don't care that we already have Sincere and Dylan in the building. You got to double dip here. So, and I think Scat will be gone in the middle rounds, Rosetown. I love him. I think that he'd be phenomenal for the Raiders, but I think that he'll be like a 3rd round guy. I think he'll go after we get our first running back, and I think he's going to go before we get our 2nd running back. If it's up to me, I'm getting one in the first 2 rounds, and I'm getting one in that 5th to 6th range. And I think Scat will be gone by the time. So there you have it. He said Hondo's reporting 5-year, $200 million for Geno. I hope it's not true. I mean, I'm not saying that it's not, but nothing has come out about that. Nothing has come out about that. So, and you said a 5-year. So what does that equal, you guys, per year? What does it equal per year? A little bit over 40. Was that somewhere in that 43 to 45 million range? If that's true, somewhere along those lines, 40 to 45, somewhere in that range, which is about right. I don't know about 5 years though. That's kind of crazy because he'll be 39 at the end of that deal. But if that's true, I think you probably pay most of that guaranteed money up front. It'll be like what we did with Max Crosby, front load that contract. And then, if he's not playing up to par, that 37, 38, 39 range, you probably move on from him. So Rick says Fields is getting 20 million per. Yeah. But also you got to remember too that Geno has done, he's done a lot more than Justin Fields at the NFL level. Fields kind of had to take that. And I think that the Jets are a good situation for him. I think he's going to flourish out there with the Jets. You think that he's going to go that early? I don't know. I got Dylan as a 4th round pick. Let me see. We don't know yet, Payne. We don't know. We don't know yet. We can just go off of what he's done at the collegiate level, which has been amazing. That's all we can say. It's been amazing. So, real quick, you guys, breaking news. Cooper Kupp will sign with the Seattle Seahawks. He's going home on a 3-year, $45 million deal. I don't know what the guaranteed money looks like, but it looks as though he may even get over north of $15 million with incentives. Let me see. Definitely not paying that. Holy shit. Oh, fucking man, Seattle tweaking, bro. He stayed in the division too. That's so funny. Went home and played the Rams twice a year. That's fucking hilarious. So, once again, you guys, there's other options out there. Elijah Moore, Tyler Lockett makes a ton of sense because of the Pete connection. Amari Cooper, who's only 30 years old and coming off a down season last year where he played for 2 different teams, the Browns, the Bills. Once again, Keenan Allen had a really good season for the Chicago. Well, let me say a good season for the Chicago Bears. DJ Moore is the number 1 option out there, right? And then Roma Dunze, rookie, played well for them as well. So there's other options out there. There's still other options available. I personally would love in the Stephon Diggs also. Stephon Diggs. So, but I'm gonna be honest. If Cooper Kupp got this kind of deal, you have to think, what is Stephon Diggs going to get paid? I think a lot of these teams were sitting around waiting, just playing a waiting game, seeing who was going to, get the first receiver and what that deal was going to look like. And I'm not talking about a Mike Williams 1 year fucking $6 million deal or whatever he got. I'm talking about the hard hitters, the Cooper Kupps, the Amari Coopers, those kind of guys. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't be against that. Go get Keenan Allen. I would love it. I would love it. I would love it. That'd be phenomenal. Bring in Keenan Allen. Still got, he's been healthy these past few seasons. Wasn't it a year ago before he went to Chicago on that 1-year deal? Didn't he have like 1,300 yards receiving? Didn't he have like 1,300 yards receiving? I could have swore the year prior, before he went to the Bears, he had a massive season for the Chargers. I'm trying to see right now. I'm looking because last year he has 744 yards and 7 touchdowns, which is all you need right now out of a Keenan Allen. I mean, you don't need anything more than that. But the year prior, he almost had 1,300 yards receiving, and he has 7 touchdowns. And he was a Pro Bowler that year as well. So I'm not against that. I'm not against that. 32 years old. Not against that at all. Just wonder what that deal would look like. You know what I mean? What that would entail. Once again, you guys, we were talking about Cooper Kupp. It sounds as though the Raiders had met up with him to kind of gauge where he was with his interest to potentially be a Raider. It makes sense to at least, see what that was. And boom, he signs with the Seattle Seahawks. And once again, it was kind of reported early that he didn't want to wait too long to name the team. But that's nasty. That is nasty. Like that contract is fucking crazy. It's crazy, man. I don't know what Seattle got going on up there. Them in the 12s, man. It looked nasty. Hey, Graphk, what's guards Tevin Jenkins' price? Matt Pryor's price and Ben Cleveland's price. These dudes are huge. Could be trade or swap out Parham's price for one of these guys. So I don't know if you've seen it, S-Dot, but it looks like Tevin is meeting up with Seattle as well this week. So he may be going out there. They need to build up that O-line. If they don't, Sam Darnold's going to die a miserable death. They don't have a mobile guy like Geno Smith in the fold anymore. They have a pocket passer in Sam Darnold that if they don't put some guys in front of him, it's going to die, right? So the word was that Tevin Jenkins is meeting up with the Seattle Seahawks. I don't know if they allow him to leave, but I can definitely take a look at some of these guys' market value. Give me 1 second real quick. Boom, boom. Once again, salute to everybody here in the building. Henry Ruggs is not available, Jerry. He's not available. He's 26. He's up. Well, I think he's older than that now, right? 27, something like that. He's up for parole next year. Up for parole next year. I've tried to keep up with him and what he got going on, but I don't see him back in the NFL at all. All right, let me see. Ben Cleveland. Market value. Is he even? Shit, 1.2 mil for a year? 1.2? Not against that. 1.2 for a Ben Cleveland? I don't know what Pryor's price is. Let me see, Matt Pryor. Let me see. Market value. 1.2. So inexpensive. Well, 5.2. My apologies. Matt Pryor, 5.2. 5.2 million. Let me see. That Ben Cleveland one was wrong, man. And Ben Cleveland, 2 million. 2 million. There you go, S. 2 mil. Wouldn't pay Diggs a bag coming off an ACL. No way. Yeah. I mean, look, he's probably going to get in the range of $12, $13 million per rash. And it's probably going to be a one-year deal. It's probably going to be that $12, $13 million range. And who's to say the Patriots don't get desperate at this point and they go pay, for a wide receiver? Diggs may be looking at them for a nice paycheck. So I can see him, signing a big deal for them if he's one of the last guys on the market. Maybe they go that route. But I'm thinking 12 to 13 mil for one season with some incentives in there as well. So we shall see. Salute to the almost 3,000 people here rocking with me in the build. If you're watching on Twitter or YouTube, you guys, do me a favor, man. Just wipe them feet, y'all. Hit them thumbs up. If you guys are not subscribed yet, man, what are you waiting on? Hit that subscribe button. We're trying to get to 30,000 subscribers. We can't do it without you guys. So please just hit that sub button. It definitely helps us remain in the algorithm. It pushes our videos out a lot more. Easy peasy, and it's free. Get Becton or draft the OG. You're going to draft one regardless. Mark, I appreciate you, brother. You're going to draft one regardless. But, the thing with Becton is I think that some teams may be worried about Becton at this point. Like, is he asking for tackle money in this free agency period? Maybe he wants to go back to tackle. Maybe some teams think that he's like a one-year wonder because he was just surrounded around a phenomenal cast, probably the best offensive line in football, right? So maybe some teams are sitting back because Becton thinks that his price tag should be up here because he won a Super Bowl, coming off a good year out there on their great O-line. I just think that Becton may be probably trying to overvalue himself here. And once again, the big question mark is he telling teams, I want to get paid like a tackle and I want to be a tackle, put me back over there? Or is he asking to remain at guard? And whatever team brings him in, I'm assuming that they would rather keep him at guard because last year was the best year of his career. Ton of injuries with the Jets at tackle and so on and so forth. So I'm just thinking that maybe he's overvaluing himself here. This is just me kind of just, speculating here. Oh, you'll see that bacteria. You'll see that this year. You'll definitely see Bowers lined up in the X and a couple 9 routes, straight shots. I mean, hey, look, if I'm a betting man, I put my life on the line that Brock's going to go up there and be that 50-50 guy. He's going to be definitely mossing motherfuckers. So I put him out there a few. Hell, he could be a possession guy. I'm not saying that you put him there full time, but you can definitely put him in a few looks. Put him on a boundary and just send him out. Why not? Westwood says Luther Burden may actually be that. Yeah, he's dropping down a lot of people's boards. He is. He's dropping down a lot of people's boards. Andy says Diggs and Asante Samuel Jr. in this offseason is a B+. Not mad about that. Asante Samuel comes in, he's instantly your starter in the nickel, and then you get Diggs, and he's instantly your starter on the boundary. You get two starters there, just depending on what's that money gonna look like. You're probably getting Diggs at somewhere in that 13 to 15 range. What are you paying Asante Samuel Jr. right now, Andy? A guy that also has dealt with some injuries out there in LA. So, we got to kind of figure that out. But we got a ton of money still available at our disposal, you guys. Let me see. Get a few more questions in, you guys, before I get out of here. I'm about to go hang out with the family here in a minute. Yeah, Locks, Kupp 3-year deal with the Seahawks, $15 million per 3-year deal. Nasty. That's crazy. Salute to my brother LV Maximus here, dropping some news. Trying to see on Twitter what the hell just happened. These guys are getting paid a shit ton of money, man. Boom. All right. Salute. Once again, you guys, quick recap. It doesn't really matter with the Cooper Kupp situation, but it sounds like our Raiders met with him yesterday. He goes on to sign with the Seattle Seahawks, 3-year, $15 million per. Sounds like that deal can even be north of $15 million. Once again, Shaq Thompson, our Raiders are interested in bringing in a 30-year-old linebacker who's dealt with some injuries these past few seasons, but he's looking forward to playing football at a high level this upcoming season. So stay tuned. Shaq Thompson's a name to keep an eye on for our Raiders. They're at the linebacker position. We talked about Raheem Mostert, went out and got our veteran. He'll be 33 years old, I believe, in April. But a guy in 2023 that had an impressive season, 18 touchdowns, over 1,000 yards rushing in Miami. There's a lot that was going on out there with Raheem in that offense, man. He actually balled out and once again played under Chip Kelly. So Chip gets one of his guys where he coached him, I believe, in 2016 with the Niners. Mark says Lockett can help Trey Tucker. Facts. He just at this point though, how much does Lockett have left? What did he have last year? Like 600 receiving yards? He's a guy that Geno is throwing the football to a lot, but what does he have left? So, Zach Wilson signed with the Miami Dolphins, Omni. He's already signed. And there's like this weird waiting game with Aaron Rodgers where the Giants are waiting, the Steelers are waiting. But also Aaron, the report came out that he's waiting to see if Minnesota actually has any interest in him. So it sounds like Aaron is waiting to see if Minnesota, which is the most talented team out of, the Giants and the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Minnesota Vikings went 14-3 last year. He thinks maybe he can be the guy to take that team over the top. They spent a massive, amount of money this offseason. Jonathan Allen, who else? They paid Jonathan Allen. They paid Byron Murphy a shit ton of money, like $22 million per. They brought back Aaron Jones. And who was Aaron Jones? Aaron Rodgers, former running back. So maybe he's waiting to see that. But, yeah. Chasen's going to cook in New England. I can see that, UA. Why not? Hopefully he does, man. I want to see that kid do his thing. Former first-round pick. Everybody called him a bust. I would love that kid to continue to build on what he did last year with the Raiders, man. That'd be great. And I think Vrabel is the perfect coach to help develop him even more, out there in New England. He got his old edge rusher Harold Landry out there from his time with Tennessee. Man, New England may put together a nice little defense out there with Carlton, Davis, and Gonzo out there at the corners. Then you got Spill. I didn't see Lockett went to the Jets, Mark. I didn't see any update on that at all. But once again, also Russ met with the Cleveland Browns, you guys. Myles Garrett was there. Deshaun Watson was there. So he met with the Cleveland Browns. It sounds like Miles was trying to, sell him on going to Cleveland after they made a trade for Kenny Pickett. So, but yeah, man, coming up on an hour and a half, you guys. If anything does happen within the Raider realm, I'll be here to cover it. Still waiting on a receiver. Once again, I know the Raiders are working the phones, trying to find, who that veteran presence will be out there at the wide receiver position. Once again, you guys, Amari Cooper, Keenan Allen, Stephon Diggs, Elijah Moore. There's other options out there that we're going to keep an eye on. So stay tuned. There's a few other positions. Once again, they're looking at linebacker as well. But if we don't bring in Shaq, I can see us going to get one in this class in the draft next month in Green Bay. So, but other than that, you guys, love. Appreciate you all. Wipe them feet on the way out. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Love y'all. I'm out. One.
That's what I'm talking about.